Good morning. Happy Friday. Welcome. Another edition. Equine Edge Coverage Fairgrounds. Very chalky today, I would say. I wouldn't expect. I know that I was chaperoning a fifth grade camp all week, but I saw there Sharita Bow had a big price yesterday on the turf. I don't see it today. I see this card really chalky. Maybe one of the most chalky I'll meet so far. Where we're in day 12. Just to jump in, we're gonna make this quick because there's not a lot here. Great card tomorrow though. State bred all day. We'll have coverage. Prince Day, single, lock. And this is not a great group. It's actually a pretty poor group. The crazy thing is it shows up as the 32 strength of race. And if you're an EE user, you can read this down here, but comes from a 40 and facing some of these, it's just not good. Ravelli gets a perfect spot, should get to the lead. Nearly won that race last out going a mile 70. And again, that was a 12.5 claimer. So same level actually comes back, but this is a way easier race. And some of these were in that race. Loveberry Sticks makes sense. Single for sure. You can daily double here. I don't know the price you're going to get into Gibson, but I think this horse is also a single. There's some speed up front, but I think that it backs up. I think this horse sits a good trip. Was in a 52 last out at Fairgrounds, going 8 for Shane. He's having a good meet. Had a rough meet last year after winning, a couple years back, the meet title. But he started out a lot better, hitting at 17%. Watch Castillo today. He's going to win a lot of races today. He's already, I think, 7 for 26. He's got the highest win percent out of anybody. He's, I think, tied for fourth in wins. But he's on so many live runners today. Jose doesn't even have a lot of mounts. But Castillo can win a lot of races, I think, today. He's got live mounts all over the place. I think this is another one. I think you can single here, too. One off the pace here. He's got a nice inside post. It's a bottom level claimer. Again, this is just not a great group. I think the 5 obviously kind of fits here, but I think the speed backs up. If we watch the race sim, the 1 sits the trip and wins. The 2 might be your play underneath actually to get a bit of a price right over a horse like the 5 you can see on the race sim and exacta. But I think you can, double single in the pick 5. Do not play expensive, in my opinion. This is not going to pay a lot. I think it's chalky, but at least that's my perspective. And again, I think you can daily double here in the first 2 races. That'd be my best bet of the card. Would be the early daily double. I think in the turf race, to me, the Equine Edge picks have it. I think from, the 3 of these runners, the speed, I think, backs up. You'll see they're all 3 there. The 9 going to sit a good trip. But Mardi Gras Empire have the strongest genetic strength rating, I think, has a big shot. And if we do get a price, it's Magnolia West, might be the price. And, that's Shane. But for Southscape, Castillo and Shane, we just talked about him. I could see a daily double there. The 1 into from the last race there, you might have a Castillo Shane daily double, but, and you might get some value on Mardi Gras Empire. The problem is it's a 3-year-old facing older and just broke the maiden, and that's so tough for Gellner. So, but I think it's those 3. I think the picks have it nailed down. I have no idea in this maiden race because, as we've talked about all meet, there's no work video. So it's nearly impossible to know how these horses are working because there's no video, no info anywhere. So I'm just spreading. The 2 and 4 are probably the players, but, maybe a horse like the 7 runs. But, it's tough because, again, without work video, it makes it hard. But, and then race 5, I thought this was a 2-horse race sprinting. Between the 1 or the 2, if the 2 Baby Kirsten clears, she's going to be gone. If she can't clear and she duels with Rambert, I don't think Rambert can win off the pace. This sets up for Bayou Birdie. If we watch the race sim, that's what happens. The others are running, but I think it's between the 1 and the 2, from my perspective. If we want to add the 8, we add the 8. What's that come to? About 22.50 if you wanted to add the 8 here. It still makes your ticket. That's not actually a bad idea because if the 8 wins, but the early double is the play. Play the day. I don't know how much you're going to pay, but that's definitely the strongest opinion. Alabama State Bred Stakes. I think it's between those three. Liking it, Wabash and Jovi G. Jovi G going to be up front. Not a lot to say there, but again, I think on the turf here, to me, this is between the 6, 1, and 4. The 1 could walk the dog up front for sure. And big play. I think the 4 going to get over bet. I think you can probably beat that horse. But the others, if you really wanted to spread, but I don't know. I don't see it really necessary. But, that's who I think fits. And then I think in the 8th race, Midnight Halo, probably good value play. This horse, there's no pace. Look at our pace numbers. So it's so accurate. And you see here, then I'll close it down. We'll get this one done in about 6 minutes. But there's no speed. None. I mean, as a pace square, over 20 points higher. Mitch going to walk the dog up front. The 2 horse is the most vulnerable favorite on the card, I would tell you. I would not even use that horse on my ticket. I'd use these others on my ticket over the 2 horse. But the 8 horse should walk the dog. This might be a single. You could win bet this horse. If you're getting 7-2, that's absolutely incredible for a race that's paceless. They're going 8. You're going to have to be forwardly placed. And Mitch can walk the dog up front. So a good play there. You get a good price. Gets back to the dirt. Didn't run on the lead here, but it's run some nice races on the lead. And my point on Island Cabana, this horse is 0 for 7 at 8 furlongs on the dirt. The 4 horse comes out of much stronger races, but this horse burned money in a 42, only won a 40 for Fish. Jenson does put back on the dirt, so maybe the horse can improve, but it hasn't run well on the dirt, and that's probably why he's been running on the turf. But I just think I'm trying to beat this horse all day, and I think Midnight Halo the play, in a paceless race. So that's it. If you just joined us, you could play early pick 5. I showed it was very cheap, $22.50. You could probably even play a little cheaper if you want. Double single, best bet early. It's the early daily double. I think both the ones are going to be tough. And then the value play there in race 8, if we can get anywhere around 3, 4 to 1, 5 to 1 would be incredible. But I'm morning line so good. This horse probably go off around 3 to 1. So, all right, y'all. That's it. State Bred tomorrow. Great card. I think they got 12 races. We'll be back. Good luck. Press your opinion today. Don't go too crazy because I think it's going to be fairly chalky. You might find a little bit of prices, but not much. Chat soon.